In 3.4, number 55, we're given these graphs and we want to find values of the derivatives. So in part A, we need to find u prime of 1, and we're told that u of x is f of g of x. So using the chain rule, u prime of x, we take the derivative of the outside function evaluated at the inside function times the derivative of the inside function. So if we want to evaluate that at x equal 1, we have to find f prime of g of 1 times g prime of 1. Alright, so first we need g of 1, so here's x equal 1, and we go up to the blue curve, that is g, and that y value is g of 1, which is 3. And then g prime of 1 is the slope of this blue line. Right, g prime is the slope of the curve, slope of the tangent line at x equal 1. So that has a rise of -3 over a run of 1. So the slope is -3, and then for f prime of 3, we have to go over to x equal 3 and up to f, and again the slope of this pink line is f prime of 3, and that is a rise of -1 over a run of 4. So the slope is -1/4, and u prime of 1 is -1/4 times -3, that's +3/4. In part B, we're asked to find v prime of 1, and we're told that v of x is g of f of x. So again, using the chain rule, in general, v prime of x is g prime of f of x times f prime of x. So to use the chain rule for a composition, we take the derivative of the outer function at the inner function times the derivative of the inner function. And again, we're asked for v prime of 1, so we have to evaluate all of this when x equals 1. Whoops. So first thing I need is f of 1, and when I look at an x value of 1 and go up to the function f, the pink graph, that y value, f of 1, is 2. So for v prime of 1, I need g prime of 2. Well, at x equal 2, g is at a corner, so g prime of 2 actually doesn't exist. Just to keep in practice, even though now we know the derivative does not exist for v prime of 1, I guess I could write up here u prime of 1 was 3/4. F prime of 1, just to keep our hand in, f prime of 1 would be the slope of this pink curve where x equals 1. We go up to the curve and we find its slope, and that is a rise of 2 over a run of 1. So f prime of 1 is 2, although in this case we don't end up really needing that because the g prime of 2 doesn't exist. And then in part C, we're asked to find w prime of 1, and we're given that w of x is g of x. So that seems a little unusual. We're composing a function with itself, but everything works just the same way. So w prime of x is g prime of g of x times g prime of x using the chain rule. So w prime of 1 is g prime of g of 1 times g prime of 1. So w prime of 1 is g prime of, let's see, g of 1, oh, I think we figured that out in part A. G of 1 is 3 times g prime of 1, and I think we actually figured out, well, let me do one thing at a time. So here's x equals 3. G prime of 3 is the slope of this blue line, which is, let's see, a rise of 2 over a run of 3. And then g prime of 1, we actually also found in part A, the slope of the left part of the blue g graph, That is a rise of -3 over a run of 1, so multiplying 2/3 times -3 gives me -2. So W prime of 1 is -2.